Hey guys, here we are for the IndyCar series at Road America. We have a 55 lap race ahead of us, and this is a very interesting race strategy-wise. So, 18.5 gallons is our full tank, which can make us go around 13.2 laps. So we don't have to stretch to make 13.2, but if we pit every 13 laps, that means 36, that means 13, 26, 39, and 52 with our fourth pit stop with 3 laps to go. So if we can somehow stretch our stints from 13 to 14, that'll get us from 14, 28, 42, and then being able to make it to the end. So instead of having to do a 4 stop with only 3 laps to go, we could stretch us to a 3 stop. I have tried to save in every way possible. I've tried to coast, I've tried to upshift, I've tried to do everything, and I don't know how to do that, but I somehow managed to qualify top 5, 5th place out of 26 cars here, and I'm very confused as to what strategy I should use. I'm just trying to see what people at the front are running. So the 2, 3, and 5, they're all running on the primary tire, so I'm going to switch to that right now. Make sure I have the full tank on here. But this is a very unusual strategy. It might be a long train of people going very slow to save fuel. So whoever can save fuel the best in these first few stints, I feel is going to make the difference. So the thing we're starting up front we're not going to try to push at the start, I don't think. So it's going to be very weird here. But yeah, long race here, trying to figure out how to manage those stints the best we can. If we end up having to make 13 on the first stop, that's okay, but we need to do 14 from there on. So hope you guys enjoy, and let's see if we can pull off the strategy.
One to go, next time by. Line up on the right side. Pit road is closed right now. One to go, next time by. Catch the 5 car. Catch the 5 car. Catch the 5 car. Catch the 5 car. Catch the 5 car.
Are tire swaps required?
Catch the 5 car.
Yeah. The reds really suck, so most of us have been running the black as much as possible and spend as little time on the red.
Catch the 5 car. Catch the 5 car.
Good luck, have fun, don't die. Good luck.
About to go green. Stay focused. Green flag, green flag. Car right. Clear.
Oh fuck, sorry, hon. I'm a fucking idiot, I'm so sorry.
Right side. Clear on the right.
Sorry.
Very turn, right there, Zach.
Yeah, it's all good, no worries.
lap for you. You've got about 2 laps of fuel. Car on your left. Clear. You have about 1 lap of fuel left.
Land karma.
Pit box in 10, 5, 3, 2, 1. Right here. That's it, go. Car on. Clear. flat for you. clear. Car right. Clear on the right. Right side. Clear.
are you doing, dude? Get out of the fucking way.
Car on your left, clear.
Fucking idiot, man. What the fuck are you doing?
Have about 1 lap of fuel left. Pit box in 10, 5, 3, 2, 1. Right here. All clear. Punch it. fastest lap for you. fuel left.
Fucking dumbass.
about 1 lap of fuel left.
Thank you.
Pit box in 10, 5, 3, 2, 1. Right here. We're done. Get going. fastest lap of the session. Clear, car right, clear on the right. White flag. You've got about 2 laps of fuel.
Good race, Sean.
Good race time.
Checkered flag, checkered flag. Nice run, solid work.
Good clean race in there, Indy. That was fun.
Regardless of the podium, regardless of the racing, I'm just happy I completed my mini triple crown. I did the NASCAR race at Coronado, 37 laps, finished that and got I think second place there. Then I just went on a 10-mile bike ride, legs are survived, and then just finished this IndyCar race. So Indy, NASCAR, and bike ride, my legs are done. Completed all those, and hell yeah, we freaking got a podium. So first of all, just looking at the numbers of the guys that are up here, qualified, it looks like first, second, and third. Oh, it looks like first, second, third finished first, second, and 25th. So front row finished up there, and then we started fifth and managed to take off the podium or finish in the podium. Curious to see what happened to Sophia after starting in third and I believe being fastest in like the practice session that we were in earlier. So, oh yeah, I'll need to see what Hunter's talking about there, but long story short, I knew that this race was, I mean, I knew it was going to be strategy based from the beginning, but it kind of flipped itself on its head the way that I was expecting it to work. I thought we weren't going to be able to save it all. Instead, we oversaved, managed to make it 15 laps, and then I was like, wait just a minute. If we can do 15 on the outlap with like the outlap at the start, the second stint, we didn't even have to do a whole outlap, so we were like a whole half gallon we had a whole half gallon more to start the second stint because we didn't have to do the outlap. Made it even easier to make it another 15. And I was just like, how the heck are we making it 15 laps? It was blowing my mind. I did know that we were losing some time behind whoever we were behind. But I was like, you know what? I'll take this extra lap, which means I'll be able to take one less lap of fuel at the end, and more importantly, one less lap of tires or one less lap on these alternates because I think at that rate, I believe we were racing Ty. He probably pitted. I'm pretty sure I saw him pit end of 42. We managed to pit end of 44, so we only had to do 11 laps on those alternates, and those alternates died quick. Holy crap! Those primaries were such a good tire, man, so consistent throughout the run, just so predictable. The rears, the fronts, the rears of the alternates wore so quickly, and then the fronts overheated so quickly. So it's just a combination of bad and bad situations. It was really quick for like 2 or 3 laps. At the end, I think I got my fastest lap on the alternates. There it is, just as we got out of the pits, 44.7. And then you'd see how quick it dropped down to the 47s. I know we were kind of a bit cautious there, but like the end of our like 14 or 15 lap stint with the primaries, we were high 45s, and the fact that in 11 laps, 4 laps less, these dropped off so much more, just incredible how how bad of a tire they were. So the fact I managed to save the fuel early on really allowed me to push in that final stint and consequently get Ty too. So if we were on the same lap tires as Ty, I don't know if we would have been able to catch him. So really fun to be able to push and get the podium in the end. But let's figure out what happened to some of these guys. So race was 55 laps. Looks like there was 5 people that wrecked out, and then the rest of them tried to contend. So yeah, in the end, only 11 people finished on the lead lap, and yeah, it was quite. Leon had quite a lead over us, 31 seconds. So never really had anything for those top two. Hunter, some of the rejoin. So I'll need to see what rejoin he's talking about and how the heck he recovered to second, because that's a pretty impressive drive if there was a weird rejoin. So let's check here. So first of all, James looks like he ended up wrecking out on lap 10 or so. Can we see what happened to him? Okay, something on lap 10. Let's see. So right now he's battling for 19th place. I feel like I'm doing one of the stewards reports like on Jimmy Broadbent's channel. Like, who is at fault? That is the weirdest thing. He had no damage up here whatsoever, and then that is so weird. What tire is he on, by the way? He is on. He started on the alternates, which, as we saw, everyone at the front, not the best strategy, but he easily could have rejoined. It looks like that was almost a technical issue more than anything else. Then we have Sophia. They're here battling for second place. Let's see if we can go back into chase you. There we go. Leon already has a pretty big gap. Sophia and then Alexander. Wow, Alexander. How did he get up to third? Did he really go 10th to 3rd at the start? I want to see how the heck this happened. We'll go check on Sophia in just a minute. But oh, Alexander, he was the guy that started on the alternates. No, did he not? What the heck? He's Alexander somehow started on the primary tire and drove from 10th. There he's going by us. Man, look at this pace that Alexander had going. That's moved for 5th, moved up to 3rd. It's closing in on Sophia here, and I'm guessing they had contact of some sort. Man, look how quick Alexander is. This is a quite a surprising drive from someone that I did not see. I think I saw. I mean, I didn't really care who was getting past us because I just wanted to make sure he saved enough fuel in this first stint. So it was pretty abysmal, I might say, in terms of our pace. Sophia is still running behind here, lap 14. Coming into the pits, lap 15. Takes tires. Comes out. How many laps did they finish behind? 41. So, oh my gosh. No freaking way, man. Alexander. Looks like they both ended up wrecking out from this, but they just came out of the pits on cold tires. And holy crap, these tires are hard to drive cold. Especially, it's like it lasts the whole half lap, and then they finally are somewhat manageable. But it looks like it was just a common cold tires, overshoot corner and try to rejoin and spin out is what it looked like. Man, that is so unfortunate. So I guess that's what gave us 2 positions. So we probably would have finished 5th if not for that. Man, Sophia did all the right things, honestly. Saw the person spinning, moved further left, and then just got tagged at the last second. That is so unfortunate. Did Alexander survive this, or did he also get in the wall? Wing damage, man. The race was over him as soon as he got the wing damage. Wasn't sure how severe it is. Sometimes you just get a neck code, but no damage. But yeah, broken wing and race over for him. Well, yeah, I guess that just goes to show that you gotta have pace, but also gotta keep it clean. It's like, yeah, no, it's definitely just a racing incident, nothing out, nothing more, nothing less. But yeah, cold tires, even the fastest have trouble with it. Quite a view from Ty, I bet though, driving through this chaos. Let's ride on board with him. He freaking parted the seas, went through the smoke. That is quite quite a view. I think I got my thumbnail for the video. Anyways, okay, so that is bottom three, and then we have Frankie and Austin that also wrecked out. I'm guessing something happened to Frankie here. He is battling for 17th. Is he battling? I don't see him actually anywhere. Lap 17 still looking good. Lap 18 looks pretty normal to me. Oh, what the heck? Another weird incident. I mean, he's running 16th. 15th is not that far up the road. I mean, they're, I don't know, 10 seconds ahead. Definitely still competing, and they overshot, sure, but they usually could have just driven through the gravel. Did they get, like, how many incidents did they have? Let's see, the 11 car, 16, so, wow. Okay. Well, maybe they were scared of a drive-through or something at that point after getting some 16x. How many? I guess we were, hey, look at us. We were tied for the lowest with Togo Hasada, who finished in 8th place. So we were the highest finishing 1X driver. The 2 and the 3 cars, they had how many incidents? 2 had 10 incidents, and Hunter had 15. Man, those guys are pushing hard, getting 1Xs everywhere, I guess. So yeah, kept it clean. So Frankie overshot into the gravel, for some reason retired, I guess due to 16X as well. And finally, Austin, our last retirement of the race. Looking like he probably retired around lap 29 or so. Let's see, lap 30, he's running in 13th. Cesar right behind him in 14th, so definitely has a close battle. And coming into the pits, this is kind of in the schedule with your pit stop. Looks like he did his first stop end of 16. That's very odd. So maybe this seems pretty close in line. Comes into the box, takes tires. Okay, exits. Oh no, another cold tire incident, I presume. No, this is so weird. These guys just retiring. Unless he like sped on pit road or something. Let's check his incident count as well. He is at 3x, so things totally looking fine for him. And riding on board. Yeah, definitely something. I don't really understand the decision to. I mean, bit of a mistake there, but it's not a spin, no damage at all. So, anyways, interesting retirements there. And now let's watch our. See if we can find what the heck Hunter was talking about the rejoin. I have no idea what he was talking about. And then I'll also find our pass with Ty. So we have our race start here. We are looking for the 3 car. 3 car I think is way ahead of us. So unless he messaged the wrong person, waiting to see. Oh, he must have spun or something. That's why he's down to 12th. Look what happened. He's in second here, rejoined probably really early on. There it is. Oh yeah, this is where I thought we were gonna die. So what caused this overshoot? Battling for second with Sophia. Yeah, I mean, it is full tanks of fuel, so it's easy to overshoot. Sophia is entitled to the corner, but totally missed the apex by a mile. I mean, I feel like it's fair to assume from Hunter's perspective that Sophia is at least going to try to get somewhat close to the curb. There's almost a whole car length there. So, I mean, Sophia made the corner, but knowing that there's someone to their outside, just totally never gave them any room, forcing Hunter to go off, and then yeah, lost a lot of time here trying to rejoin and yeah, that's where we were at this moment. I was like, is there a lane there to pass? Luckily there was no contact, but who was this move on or was it too aggressive? I guess you can decide. I mean, from my perspective, the person that's off the track, their only responsibility is to rejoin safely or resafe jointly, if you know, you know. Um, and it's like I feel like they're entering on the track off the racing line. They know a car's coming behind based on their delta. They should at least stay off the racing line for this next corner. So do they do that? I mean, they leave kind of a car length, and that's why I'm trying to drift and keep as tight of a line as possible. And man, I tried my best to keep it off them, and I think I did. But holy crap, that was close. And yeah, I think luckily they did make the right decision eventually, but once they turned in, they turned away last second to avoid getting turned. I don't know if they would have if they didn't, but ended up falling back all the way to here and still recovered to second. So what a freaking drive by Hunter. What was his strategy through here? End of 14, he pitted, then end of 28. So he just did the typical 14, 14, 14. When did he pass us then? Oh, what the heck? I exited at just the worst time. Never saw there was a. Oh, there it was. What happened here? Yeah, I saw this spun around car. This was James. Oh, maybe that's why James retired. That spin. Still a bit odd. Um, I'm just trying to see how the heck Hunter managed to get back through the field. When did he pass us then? So he's going through here. Then he's right behind us, and I guess, yeah, he just gets past both of us. That's very impressive, the fact he managed to do 14 laps, being able to push to the field that aggressively. I know he still made 15, but I feel like we had to save so much. So the fact he got the laps he did and still closed up within 6 seconds, I feel like race is probably guaranteed to be his, if not for that spin. Like, let's see how far he is behind at this point. Crossing the finish line at 27:50. Leader is, wow, look how far ahead the leader is. Leader was 18 seconds ahead after 12 laps. So Hunter gained 12 seconds on the leader in the last 40 or so laps. So yeah, I feel like he definitely had the race win if not for that early incident. But heck of a drive back to the podium regardless. So last thing we'll see is our final stint pass on Ty. Let's see, have we already got him? Oh yeah, here's our pit stop. Then fourth, we're closing in on him here. He's going defensive. We do have that two tire lap advantage. We go to the inside, and let's see this from TV view. Now, regardless of what Ty did, I just want to point out that I knew I was alongside, but I still respected him being there. So, unlike what we saw from Sophia, I slowed down in case he was there, which he still is. I get to the apex, so I don't overshoot and drive up into him. Just wanted to show the difference in the lines that were taken. Regardless of what my line was, though, you can still see that Ty overshot the corner, and I'm sliding a bit here, and I managed to get the spot. Definitely, yeah, the push to pass definitely helped us go through the field. We used all 200 seconds. Felt like we waited till like the third stint to really start using it, especially because we are just saving early on. No need to use it. It would be just counterproductive to our fuel saving. But yeah, I managed to get the pass completed, and get a podium in the end. So thanks for watching, guys. Last thing I promise is just checking the fastest laps. Leon's fastest near the end, 44.0. Hunter's 45.4, and ours 44.7. So, wow, Hunter really never had great pace. I mean, he had a very solid consistency, but never put a single incredible lap together, which is very surprising to see. But yeah, 44.0, heck of a lap by Leon, and congrats on the win. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and see you next time. And looking forward to see who wins the IRL race. My pick, based on my livery, as you can tell, is on Alex Palou. So thanks for watching, and see you next time.